What's good? What's good, y'all? What's good? Once again, as always, OG Suicide in the building, live at 5. Today, I know inquiry minds want to know. I know everybody's asking questions. I'm getting messages. The internet is really different right now. With a lot going on, a lot of tension, in the air or whatnot. But definitely, whatever questions you may have, I'm definitely gonna ask them. Just don't say nothing dumb because it definitely will get overlooked. But if you want to ask a serious question, then do so. Definitely.
Um, the first question is we must know, are you staying at No Jumper?
You see me sitting here, right? I mean,
Clearly.
this it made the way I look at life, man. Um, this is business. This isn't personal. AD, that's my nephew. We bleed the same blood. I gave him my blessings. He gave me his blessings. We had a talk. We had a sit down with each other. And, you know, we understand. Straight out. I understand him. He understand me. He's a grown man. I'm a grown man. Straight up. And I'll never go against the grain. That's my nephew.
Just waiting for some questions to come
Oh
in.
yeah, all good.
Waiting for the chat to build up.
I just really wish, things would have kind of like been handled in a different way. That's definitely one thing I do wish, things would have been handled a different way if people would have communicated with each other a lot more than, the communication that has been going on for, I could say, the last 2 months, you know?
Somebody said, "Oh, gee, so what's your opinion on the morals and the rest of them surrounding everything in that building?"
The morals. I mean, man, everything is good here, you know? Um, what transpired, a lot of it I didn't know about it. I kind of caught it at the tail end of it, because I kind of I stick to myself, um, I move a certain way. But when it comes to the morals, man, it's kind of like if there is some other things that need to be brought to my attention, then I've definitely got my eyes open to see. But I wish nothing but the best for everybody, everyone.
Somebody asked, "How many kids do you have?"
4 and 5 grandkids. Yeah, I'm a pawpaw.
Somebody also asked, "Oh, gee, I love this girl and she lives with her ex-husband. She doesn't answer the phone after 8 p.m. What do I do?"
Call her in the morning. Call her at breakfast, man. She lives. Look where she live. Look where she live. Like, so that thing get warm, huh? Oh,
Somebody says, "Oh, gee, how long have you known that AD would be a star?"
uh, back when nephew was like 13, man, nephew has always been special. He's always just been talented. When it came to nephew AD, man, he's always been talented. And back when he was young, you can just tell like the way he was thinking when he were young. As he got older, during that time he was gonna be executing because he always had good ideas and made good decisions.
Uh, Somebody said, "Oh, gee, are you taking calls tonight?"
No calls, just
Just
just questions. You know, just questions tonight. Just questions. But something I do want to point out real quick, and then we're gonna get back to the questions. Like I said, man, the situation that's going on right now, I definitely don't go against the grain, when it comes to family at all. And like I said, my nephew AD gave me his blessings. I've always gave him my blessings, you know. But at the same time, man, it normally don't be, you know, the people that's actually into it. Sometimes it be the surroundings that put gas on the fire. You know, if you see a fire, man, especially as a unit, if you see a fire, you know, be a solution to help put that fire out, not throw gas on it and make it a bigger flame. The fire gets so big, then it causes evacuation. You know, people have to evacuate. The fire's too big, so they gotta, you know, move people out of a situation. And Lush, this to you, homie. Like, for real, from an OG, you know me. I really feel the way you handled the situation. Yeah, it was things going on, things being said prior to that, but people were talking amongst each other. When you take inside and take it outside and you put it on the internet where people are waiting to gravitate to something, ready to take something and run with it, you know? Then when the shit hit the fan, you're confused. It confused you. You should have went to the source. If you had something to discuss, you should have discussed it directly with the source. You shouldn't have took it to the internet and discussed nothing. So them shoes you put on, you had to tie them up tight and wear them. You know, you went about it the wrong way. Am I getting on you? Goddamn right, man. I'm speaking real. I'm telling you how it is, how I really feel about the situation. You know, I get it. You don't understand about being a part of a solution. Yeah, the people in the internet, you know, that rock with you, what may say, oh man, OG just getting on him, just getting on his head. No, this is nothing different than when I got on Flacco's head when Flacco was out here being an idiot, involved with other people's business, causing mayhem, you know? And when the shit hit the fan, Flacco was hiding in his house. I said it, I'll say it again. But he changed. He get it. He got it. But Lush, you made a bad decision. Why would you go to the internet with something that someone told you? You should have just had a discussion with the source. Discard, whatever, you know, whatever it is. You took it there, man. I don't know if you was trying to gain attention or if you were I don't know what it is. I don't know what it was that ran through your mind that made you do this. There was a fire, you added to the fire. You put gallons and buckets of gas on the fire. That's exactly what you did. And it caused evacuation. Yeah, it was eggshells around the office. For sure, it was eggshells. There was disagreements. There was misunderstandings. Been going on for a couple months. But it hadn't got to that point to where it's at now. So, like I said earlier in my conversation, the flame got so big, it caused evacuation, loved one. And I'm sure when you look at yourself in the mirror, man, you feel stupid. I don't care who like what I'm saying, don't like what I'm saying. My number is public. You can talk to me direct. I talk back, straight out. Nigga, from an OG, a real one. We'll take some questions now, loved one.
All right. Let's see. There's a bunch.
Wherever you
OG,
want.
is there a country that you've always wanted to travel to?
Definitely, I want to go to Rome. I want to roam around Rome.
Any self-help / mental health books you recommend?
There's a good book. I can't remember the author, but there's a book called Final Exit. You really have to read this book. Google it, Final Exit. I can't remember the author's name, but Final Exit, I'm trying to tell you, definitely a good book, a good read for sure.
Derek Humphrey. By Derek Humphrey.
Derek Humphrey.
Hmm.
That's him. My album that came out in 1995 was titled Final Exit. And I got that name. I was in the bookstore. I was at Barnes and Nobles. And I was looking for books. And I just happened to pick up a book and start reading it. And it was a trip that ended up being the title of my album. True story.
OG, what is the best way to handle toxic relationships with family?
Distance yourself. You know, if always be the bigger person though in the situation, no matter what. Always be the bigger person in that situation. And if they don't get it, or you feel like they just um, deny accepting responsibilities for wrongdoing or for whatever it is that got you feeling the way you do, distance yourself, you know, because people close to you will be the ones that'll hurt you the most.
OG, how was your experience been or how has your experience been working for No Jumper?
My experience, loved one, is it's good. You know, I'm over here, you know. This is the field. Um, I'm over here. I'm on the sideline, you know. Um, Adam gave me a platform. They gave me my own YouTube channel. You know, it started off, you know, on No Jumper's YouTube channel, but he's seen a bigger picture, which I respect. That's why the channel was called OG Suicide in the Building, which was created almost 2 years ago of me coming up to No Jumper every Tuesday. And when I walked through the door, the love was felt. OG Suicide in the Building, you know, from my nephew AD, from Adam, from the whole, you know what I mean? All the hosts on the show, you know, it was always love. And this is what it turned into. That's why I say this with me it's not personal, it's business, you know, right now. It's not personal, it's business. You know, me and my nephew AD, we, like I said earlier, we talked. You know, we see eye to eye, imano imano.
That actually goes with the next question. Anthony asks, you think it's best to separate business and personal life?
You have to. It's an old saying also. Don't count your chickens before your eggs hatch. You know, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Yeah, you have to separate personal from business, because if you don't, that's where the clash come. And then if you don't actually, you know, both of whoever the sources is, whoever it may be, if the sources don't come together and actually have that real sit down and get that understanding with each other, you know, then you got a bunch of whisperers, you know, on the outside of it, you know, that's whispering in this ear and whispering in this ear, and that's keeping individuals from actually having a face-to-face talk, because it's got a person feeling like, well, if you said this to this person, then ain't no need to talk, and vice versa.
What does it take for you to wipe your hands with someone, OG?
For me, I used to be a person that always forgave people, you know, repeatedly. They do something dumb, that something stupid, you know, that it wasn't cool, you know, what they've done. You know, it wasn't cool. Forgave them. Kept them on board. Forgave them. Kept them on board. Forgave them. Now I'm to a point in my life where I have zero tolerance. So I wash my hands right away, loved one, with no soap. Right away.
When is your next album coming out?
Actually, I have an album in the cut titled OG Suicide, The Indomitable. Indomitable, shout out and rest in peace to my loved one, Boss Hog, CPO, because that's where the title came from. Boss Hog Man, that's been my bro forever before I ever was writing lyrics when I just was freestyling. And we used to be at DJ Train house, man. Me, DJ Train, Boss Hog, Ren, MC Ren, like quite a few of us, man, working on music. Tutti, and Boss Hog was my bro who I would call when I need one of them words, man, that you got to go get a dictionary to look it up, you know? So he was I called him one day and was like, bro, I'm finna put out this new album. I really need a name for it that represents can't be destroyed, can't be killed, can't be removed, can't be conquered. And bye, he hit me, was like, give me an hour. He hit me back in about an hour, gave me the name, and OG Cuicide, the Indomitable, is going to be the name of the album. But right now, I'm more focused on my artists. My son, Little Side, my nephew, Dre Hill, and my bro, Izzy. I'm focused on their music. We just mixed down my nephew, Dre Hill, EP yesterday. We're getting ready to put an EP out, called No Stopping Me. That's going to be coming soon. My son, he's working on some music. He's getting ready to put out a couple of albums. So it's like that's my focus. I'm not really focused on dropping nothing no time soon. But guess what? I do got some nitroglycerin sitting.
Jay asks, what has been the best advice you've ever gotten in life?
The best advice I've ever gotten in life, watch who you hang with. I used to surround myself around a lot of the wrong people. Even though, and I say this all the time, I've done a lot of the wrong things for the right reasons. You feel me? But who I surround myself with nowadays, I pay close attention to who I surround myself with. Because even though my heart is open to the world, I give my heart to the world, I give my advice to the world. But when it comes to right here, that immediate, there's a chosen few. They know who they are.
Are you proud of how AD handled the situation?
I'm proud of AD all the way across the board, loved one. AD is grown. He's grown. I'm proud of him. If my nephew make a good decision or if my nephew make a bad decision, I'm still proud of him because the decision he make from the heart. AD is not an idiot. He's not stupid. He's very smart. He's intelligent. And who he rock with, he's down to go all the way for. He'll put his life on the line for, and he's done that several times, many a times. He put his life on the line so much to where I stepped up with my life on the line. Because if his life is on the line, my life is on the line. And something happened, that's two lives gone. But for what we believe in, if he believe in this and he riding for this, I'm riding with him, right or wrong. So I believe in whatever decision my nephew makes, I ride with him.
What advice would you give an artist coming up in the rap game?
Invest in yourself. If you don't have the funding, get a job. Invest in yourself or find somebody that really believes in you that's willing to invest. That's the key thing. Like, you're only gonna make it so far when it comes to your social media, when it comes to your IG. For instance, you get a new record, you put a snippet on your Instagram today, you're gonna see all the numbers you're gonna see, technically. Because tomorrow, if you promote it again, less people are gonna look at it because they're gonna say, oh, I seen that yesterday. But if it's a celebrity, they're gonna keep clicking on it. It's crazy, but facts.
OG, what's the best way to let go of the past?
Stop living in it. The best way, you got to stop living in the past. If you're focused on the past, then are you putting any time towards your future? Any? The future is what you got to look forward to. Because what happened, you can't take to the bank. what you're doing now moving forward to progress, to be successful in the life, that's what you could take to the bank.
What's your favorite non-rap album, preferably soul or R&B?
Definitely the Isley Brothers. I listen to the Isley Brothers, Smokey Robinson, Al Green, Michael Jackson, the Temptations. Even though I'm into music, I've been around this music game since '87. Even my artists, I knock their music, I bang their music all the time. But when I'm just rolling, I'm on the road, I'll listen to all my artists' music. But then when I'm not listening to their music, I got nothing but oldies going.
OG, what do you think is the biggest thing that prevents people from reaching their full potential?
Um, Holding yourself back. Doubt. Doubt is one of the biggest things that people will face in life. You will have a good idea. Like, I know if I execute with this is it. But then in the back of your mind, you got that small little doubt that make you say, but I don't know. Man, I got this. Man, but I don't know. Like, if it's going to work. In order to win, you have to fail. You got to keep taking falls until you eventually get it and you start winning. That's life. If you don't understand taking falls in life, you'll be confused when you start winning.
Do you believe in any wild conspiracy theories?
What, like UFOs?
Yeah, like the flat earth.
I mean, I don't know if the Earth is flat. I don't know that one. But this is the thing. I'm sure when NASA go to space, if they land on Mars, they can look down and see if the Earth is flat. I'm sure it's in a round form.
That's another one. Like, do you believe people actually landed on the moon? They think that's fake. That's a conspiracy theory.
I don't think that's fake. I really believe they landed on the moon. I mean, they ain't building them rockets
Me
for
too.
nothing,
I believe so too.
Area 51, they'll spot you 1,000 yards away. They done been to the moon.
Let's see. What do you think is the biggest lie told to the youth about gang/street life?
The biggest lie about street life to the youth. Telling young people to go put in work. If you want to be from the hood, then you got to go put in work. Like, no. If putting in work is in you, loved one, I mean, I'm far from that. I live that life, but my thing is this. If it's in you, not on you. So in these days, we got cowards. We got cats 40 and 30 something and 50 something that's never done nothing. Never. They was more like just cats that hung in the neighborhood. They ain't never been a person that understood what putting in work for the hood was. But now it's like a mirage. These cats are in neighborhoods and these clowns are illusions of a lifestyle. They have an illusion of a lifestyle they never lived, and they're embedding this false life into our young people. Then when our young people go to jail and they get 100 years, 200 years, that coward's still on the block right there while you gone. That, to me personally, is the biggest lie ever told in the streets.
Yuri is in the chat, and he's asking, or he said, I'm dealing with crazy back pain and don't know what to do. Have you ever gone through serious back pain? And he's really being serious right now.
Erie acupuncture. I used to go get that. For real. I got a bullet in my back. 223 round. And you know how big that bullet is. About way like this,
Oh my
but
God.
acupuncture.
Okay. No,
Uh,
it's like really
yeah,
bad.
yeah, it'll work, man. It'll work,
Okay.
Yuri.
Good to know. Lord Drip asked or said, "My little brother is a teenager and going down the wrong path. How can I help guide him in the right way?"
um, you know what? Show him a few of my interviews. Start with that. Hopefully, show him my interview with Adam, my life story, where I come from. How I, was dealt bad cards, man, and I dealt those cards and played them and turned it into something better. It's about his surrounding, who your little brother is hanging with. We live in a time, man, where everybody is into this impressive thing. Everybody wants to impress the internet. Everybody got this image that they have to live up to. I come from the days no internet. But nowadays, it's like a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people have this image that they have to live up to. You take the internet away today, then who are they?
Somebody, Bert Bino asked, "How do you feel about AD leaving No Jumper?"
AD is a grown man. That's my nephew. He's a grown man. And the decisions AD makes, I ride with the decisions AD make. If this is how he feel, that's how he feel. So he's gonna make the decisions that he want to make, and I ride with him 1,000,000%. I don't go against the grain. I don't go against the grain at all. But at the same time, this is business, not personal. My nephew know what it is. He know what it is. And I can't express it enough. We've always been those ones. We give each other blessings. Straight out. So if my nephew made this decision, he thought this out. He didn't just dive in and make this decision at all. He sit there and he thought about it straight out.
Anthony asks, "What is your outlook on religion?"
I'm a believer. I'm a suicide survivor that flatlined, and I'm here. And definitely, I didn't do it on my own. I could definitely say that.
OG, do you drink alcohol or smoke anything?
Yeah, I drank a little alcohol, occasionally, and I smoke like a broke stove. I smoke like a broke stove. I just don't do it on, social media. You catch me on my live sometime, I be smoking a joint and shit, but
Xavier asks, "What's your message to teenagers trying to stay on the right path?"
Watch who you're around. Watch who you're around. If you're around people not doing good things, and let's say it's 8 of y'all, you're the ninth one, and you're with 8 people, and all 8 of these people, let's say, decide to go in a warehouse, and you're with them. Are you gonna stand there? Or are you gonna go in there with them? Most likely, you're gonna go in there with them. So, if you're around people that's doing things, how are you gonna stay focused? How are you gonna do better? How are you gonna make better decisions if you're not amongst that audience? Think about it.
OG, how do you stay motivated? Or what gives you motivation?
Y'all, when I go on YouTube and I get to read in the comments, from everybody from around the world, that inspires me. That motivates me. That puts the battery in my back. That keep me going because it's confirmation I'm doing something right. And if I'm doing something right, then I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep striving for it. I'm going to keep going. But thank you to all of y'all, all of my supporters. I don't really consider y'all fans. I consider y'all supporters. Y'all support me. I love it. I appreciate it. I'm here for y'all. But that's what keeps me going. And also, you know, my kids, my grandkids. Just, I want to be an example and an inspiration in their life, as well as I want to be a good example, a lead by example, and I want to be a good inspiration in this world. I'm a life coach and a damn good one.
OG, how do you pick yourself up when you're feeling down?
Um, Sometime, nephew, I see you. Dre Hill, I see you, Neff. Sometime, and I'm not ashamed of it, man. Sometime, I go through stress, I go through things, just I guess bearing a lot of weight on myself, I go through things that go on off the internet, in situations in my life right now today, to where sometime I shed tears behind it. It aggravates me and irritates me so much to where I let it out, loved one. Myself, I let it out, loved one. And afterwards, I get myself together. I, wash my face, man, with a cold towel and close my pores and be like, you know what? I got stuff to do. I got missions. I got hurdles out there that I gotta get over, and I'm gonna do that. I got people that look up to me. I got people that's want to hear something good. That want to be uplifted. So sometime I go through it, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. Right now, still to this day, I go through it. But everything gonna be all right. If you're not going through nothing, you're not growing through nothing. Remember that.
Sean Trey asks, how do you stay grounded as a person putting themselves in the public eye and not becoming bigger than the program?
I don't have an ego. I'm not a person with an ego. I don't feel like I'm better than nobody. What I'm doing, anybody can do. But what I've been through, not everyone could have made it this far. You know? And that's just being honest. Like, when I tell you I walked through hell with buckets of gas to get where I'm at right now, sitting here talking to y'all, man, it was a journey. And by the grace of God, I made it this far. And I appreciate it. I have no regrets in life because everything I went through in the past made me who I am today. And I respect it. Miss Price is smiling down at me for sure.
What does your day-to-day look like, OG?
In the morning, I get up. I make breakfast for my daughter, take her to school. I go to the gym. Um, After the gym, run errands, go pick my daughter up from school. Um, May take her to the house or take her to get something to eat. More errands. Sometimes I'll go back to the gym, or I'm down the hill. I stay out the way. I stay like about 2 hours from where the no jumper office is. So come down to the studio. You know what I mean? Every Tuesday with the artists, we in the studio. We go on Saturdays or we shoot videos and like man and loving when the grandkids is over. Spending time with them. And man, being here for y'all. Being here for y'all, being a voice. I'm the voice for the ones with no choice, man. I just want to see people win. I want y'all to learn and embed, believe in yourself. Belief starts within self first. First. And just like a lot of a key thing, which is not on the same topic, but artists, a lot of artists, they say I'm just looking for a record deal. Let me tell you something. If you don't look like you already is investing in yourself, then how are you going to expect somebody to invest in you? To get money, you got to look like money. Don't let that go over your head. A millionaire taught me that about 20 years ago. That was worth about 100-something million. I was invited to a yacht party. Everybody on there had $5,000 suits on, nice shoes. I came on that yacht, a Dickie suit with some Chucks, because I still had that gang banging mentality. So everybody looking at me like I stood out. I stood out. But what I do respect is Dave. Dave is the cat, man, from Newport Beach that embraced me and schooled me. He taught me something, and I live by it. You never have a second chance to make a first impression. So when they seen me, I looked like a gang member, like I was finna hold up the whole yacht, lay everybody down. But the next time they see me, boy, it was cold. You know, Stacy, some slacks, turtleneck. I was nice. I looked it like money. And people approached me wanting to know who I was, what did I do, and how they can get involved with it was that I did. And that's what really woke me up to like, I get it.
OG, my cousin won't stop paying for escorts. What advice do you have for him to settle down with a good woman?
You gotta wait till he get it all out. Till he get it all out, loved one. Until then until then it's like, man, let him live. You're not paying for it, are you? Or is it tempting to you? Huh? It's tempting, huh? You ready for him to order two?
G asks, did you ever go to therapy/counseling? If you did, what was one tool that you were taught and still use daily?
Okay, I used to see a psychiatrist. Okay, when I first got out the hospital for my suicide attempt, it was mandatory. I used to see a psychiatrist. And I used to get these pills called Cinequans. And when I tell you them things put you to sleep, things put you to sleep. Y'all gotta excuse me. I just had some of that. I said I smoked like a broke stove. I smoked before I came on, so got me yarning a little bit. Forgive me. Forgive me. But I used to go see the psychiatrist. And I would lay there and she would ask me a bunch of questions and I'll answer them. And she asked more questions and I answer them. And then I would get up and, she would give me a prescription. I'll go get it filled. And I would take these pills and then I would sleep for about 3 days. I didn't even want to get up and, use the bathroom. Stuff put an elephant to sleep. One day, man, I was there at her office and I started thinking to myself, like, how is this helping me? My psychiatrist, graduate from college, lived a good life, don't know what it is to starve, don't know what it is to struggle, really didn't understand technically what I was going through. So I started thinking like, why do I keep coming here? So I stopped. And I was like, why do I keep taking this medication? I feel worse. I'm feeling like I felt when I had a gun in my hand. So I stopped taking the medication and I started getting better, I really started getting better. I really got focused. I really started thinking of things to do in life to better my life. And the minute I separated myself from the psychiatrist and the medication, I started saying, me improve myself. So I was holding myself back. Now, just imagine if I hadn't have stopped, I would still be on that medication today and I would be mentally destroyed. That's why you have these homes that have people that they can't no longer live in their own homes, so their parents or even older people, not convalescent homes, but these homes where mental people are. And it's because they've been taking this medication since they was 7, 8 years old. Now they're like 20 something, 30 something, 40 something, can never live on their own because this is what they've been doing for a long time to where they need this. And then they also need attention. They need people to watch over them because they can't no longer live in their own households that they grew up in. And man, you are what you eat is a saying. You are what you take is another saying.
OG, what are your thoughts on men crying?
You must have just logged on. Cause I just dropped a few tears, man, a few days ago. You know, like I said, man, I take on a lot. I know I do. But what I take on from the world is not what is has effect on me. It's the things that go on in my life behind the camera. My own personal life. You know, things that I go through that affects me. It irritates me because sometimes it confuses me. Sometimes it really puzzles and bothers me of like, why am I going through this? You know, the caliber person who I am, definitely don't deserve these things. So when y'all say, man, I'm going through this, I'm experiencing this, I can't believe it. Why me? Trust me, I feel y'all pain because I feel the same way. But guess what, man? Like I said moments ago, man, if you're not going through nothing, you're not growing through nothing.
Brianna says, OG, I lost custody of my son and I don't know where he's at. I've tried everything to find him. I'm a former foster child myself. Any advice?
Oh, and I was a foster child too. You definitely, oh wow, you gotta contact children's services. They have to help you. And and whatever you do, go to the courts if you have to. Don't give up on going to get your child. My parents never came back and got me. They went back and got my brother. They never came back and got me. And I'm glad they didn't because Miss Price gave me a life that I appreciate to this day. Right now, to this day, still, I appreciate her because she adopted me because I was finna go to the system. And there's no telling where I would have ended up, where my life would have ended up. Don't stop looking. Make sure you got your life together though, and go back and get your child. Whatever it was that got your child took, don't ever do that again, ever in life, because your child didn't ask to be here. Kids don't ask to be here, so don't endanger them. Don't put them in predicaments to be taken from you. I'm not getting on you, but I'm getting on you because I mean that. I once was a foster child. You once was a foster child. So you definitely can understand where I'm coming from. Get it right, get it together, do it right, and don't make the same mistake twice. I mean that.
Xavier asks, any advice if you're not motivated anymore?
Who you hanging out with? You got to find motivation. I mean, you don't want to just stop, you know? You don't want to be the hamster in the wheel. You're steady running, but you're going nowhere. You got to find motivation. What do you like to do? Find things that you like to do in life and do them. You know, don't let life pass you by because life will pass you and it'll leave you. And then you got to catch up with life. You know, get it together now. So 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you're not trying to get it together. And if you're trying to get your life together years later in life, it's because life passed you up. Find motivation. I'm sure it's something that you love to do. I'm sure it is. There's things you love to do. Find that. Execute with it and stay on it.
Hugo asks, you got any advice for us if the aliens do come?
Man, I'm trying to see what that alien stuff like. You know, I mean, if they do come, I mean, you know, what can we do? You know, when the pandemic came, what can we do? You know, anything that comes, what can we do? We just have to live with it. You know, you got to live with it, loved one. You know, you never know. Might find you a pretty alien, dog.
Scrappy said, I'm nervous about starting my new job tomorrow. Any advice?
Yeah, have your ass there on time. No, on the real, get there early, man. Show up about 30 minutes early. You know, let me tell you something. If you're on time, you're late. Get there 30 minutes early and show up and execute with your job. You know, remember what I said. If you get there on time, you're late. Get there 30 minutes early. Straight out.
B. Reeves asks, do you feel like it's important for these young artists to have professional protection while conducting business?
Young artists. I mean, if they're in a position where the finance is there, then definitely they need real protection. You know, because, you know, them hiring their little cousin, little Ray Ray, and little Ray Ray got the burner with the serial number scratched off. And, you know, protection is protection. I get it. But if you got the money, you can never put a price on protection, just like you can never put a price on health. Them are two things that's important, straight up.
Anthony asks, you think it's cool for people not on the platform to pressure the ones still there to leave?
I mean, who's doing that? That's
Like,
not going on. Like, where did you get that from? Discard? Lush told you that? I mean, I don't get it. That's not going on. So nobody's pressuring anyone, you know? Everybody here is grown. Everybody here is over 18. Everybody here is over 18. That was funny. Pressure. Oh.
what's your life quote, OG?
Oh, wow. I have several. I'll give you three. I'll give you three. One, I'm like a can of oil. You can't out slick me. That's one. Another one is grow through what you go through. That's the second one. And what's so crazy is I'm actually in process of putting a book together with sayings. It's called Sayings, and it's going to be amazing. But one of my go-tos that I always say, and I'm sure y'all have heard me say this multiple times, a hospital not the only thing with patients. You can quote that. Shout out to the chat too, man. Love y'all.
Let's see. Waiting for some questions.
Oh, good. Oop.
All right, here we go. OG, what is the best way to respond to no, especially after it feels like every doing is closing? Do you keep attacking the dream?
No, it's starting to. You're forcing it. If you keep hearing no, and you keep feeling like that was a yes, and you keep attacking it, or keep trying to get the answer you want, then no, that's forced. You know, like whatever. I don't know what the situation is or the actual scenario, but if the word is no, no mean no. Remember that. No, no, no mean no.
Hugo asks, any advice to prevent panic attacks and how to stop overthinking every single thing.
Overthinking, you're around a lot of people you don't trust, or there's a lot of doubt there. That's what got you overthinking, because when people tell you things, you kind of keep playing it out in your head. It's like you're sitting there and you're listening. You're hearing what they're telling you, and you're giving your own opinion on it, which you're supposed to. But anxiety attacks, like I used to have them, man, and it's a trip too, because I would be in the car driving, and I done drove myself to the hospital many a times of having anxiety attacks because I thought I was having a heart attack. I didn't know what it was. Everything just started beating, and one time my electrolytes was too low and was causing it. So you never know. Sometime it could be something going on with you, health wise, that you don't know that can be causing it. Check your electrolytes. And that's for real, not a joke.
Andrea says, "Hello, I have a question. What would you do if you're currently working somewhere that's undesired but has good pay? Would you stay?"
Undesired. Okay, you don't love your job. You don't really care for it, but you care for the money. Find something at that job that you love until you find a job that you actually admire. That's amazing to you. Stay there and get the pay, but don't leave it until you find something else. And if you do decide, to leave, already be prepared, for a better job. But if it's paying you good and it's keeping your life good, then why leave unless there's issues there?
Andrew asks, "What do you do if you are obsessed with someone?"
Just tell them how you feel. Quit stalking them. Get off their page. You on IG liking all their pictures. Notification is on every time they post something. You're right there. I'll be there. In your Michael Jackson voice. You start to become a stalker. Just let them know how you feel. Go let them know. Call them. Call them right now. Pick up the phone. Call them right now. Tell them how you feel. And don't be shy.
G asks, "What age did you start your magazine and what inspired you to do it?"
2013, One West Magazine. Oh, wow, you did your research on me, because I don't even tell people I own the magazine. I've been trying to be hidden as the CEO of the magazine for a long time. I always tell them, my bro Epidemic is the owner, I always throw it off on him, but people find out. But 2013, and here's why. There's a lot of magazines. At that time, there was a lot of magazines out there, a lot of them, different ones. So there was really no magazines that was in reach of people that didn't have a big label budget, They wanted the exposure, they wanted that look, but when they contacted these other entities and magazines, shout out to my loved ones too, the Hype magazine, but they contacted these other entities and the price was just so far to where they couldn't afford it. So I wanted to create something that we didn't have out here on the West Coast, a magazine that was for the West, but also that was affordable, that was in reach of a person that didn't have a big budget. So that's what I did. One day I'm sitting on the phone with my bro and said, "Man, I want to start a magazine." He was like, "A magazine?" I was like, "Yeah, we don't have a magazine out here, that really represents us on the West from what I see, but the East Coast, they have many magazines, other states." So we created it. And when we first presented it, the distributor was shocked because they was like, "Man, how long y'all been out?" I'm like, "Well, this is our first issue." He like, "No, it can't be." I said, "Yeah, no, it is." And he said, "Normally people don't get to this point of having a magazine look this darn good until about 10 years of being in the business, 10 to 15 years. And I mean, we hit the ground, man. We hit the ground running. And, the magazine did good. Coming up on that good, anniversary time, which we're going to be doing something for it. But yeah, that's what made me start One West.
OG, you ever have the same nightmares over and over? Is it a sign or something that needs to be taken care of? Or is it too late?
What was the first?
Have you ever had the same nightmare over and over again?
Uh, no, no. You need to get that thought out your head. You going to sleep thinking about that dream. It's kind of like if you go to sleep, you watch a horror film and you go lay down and go to sleep. The last thing you seen was that horror film. You know, try watching something that make you laugh before you go to sleep. Just to see. I'm definitely not certified, in this, but just some advice that I would give. Watch something that make you cry laughing, before you go to sleep, and see if that works. And make sure you get back to me and let me know.
Julius asks, "What was the biggest obstacle with big business? How did you adjust?"
uh, the biggest obstacle in business to me is a person's word. A person's word always been the biggest obstacle to me in business. Even with the magazine, people would be like, "I want to get advertisement in your magazine. Man, yeah, I definitely want to get a page or two, and I get paid this day." Okay, I jot it down. Somebody hit me up, want to do business. I jot it down right then and there, and I put it in my notes. And before I was putting it in my notes on my phone, I would write it down in a book that I had. And come Friday, I do a follow up, and they don't answer their phone, or if they do, something came up, and it's a sad story. Even though things do come up, I get it, I understand. But don't do business if you're not actually prepared to do business. So that's kind of one of the biggest obstacles I ever faced was a person's word. And if your word not good, that describes you as a person thoroughly.
What's your favorite memory of your foster mother?
Our conversations, watching TV, with each other, and you know, sometimes would do bad things, and I had to talk to somebody, because it was that bad, and and I was like maybe like 14, and I used to tell her, and she used to be blown away, but she used to get on me. She was from Texas, Claywater, Texas, so she was, she didn't whoop me or nothing, but she used to get on me. But I just missed them conversations, like talk like today. If she was still here, man, I would be over there sitting with her, talking and just enjoying her, man. Like she was well soft spoken, had a heart of gold, and that's definitely something I really miss, man. She used to like to talk, and that's where I get it from. I love to talk, man. I love to conversate. I love to express myself. I really love sitting down, just having real conversations, and that's what Miss Price used to do with me, and I got that from her. Having a good heart, I got from her. Even though having a good heart could be a blessing and a curse at the same time, but at the same time, I can't stop having a good heart.
You want to do like 3 more questions?
That's fine.
All right. Let's see. Family Function asks, "Do you still make music?"
Yeah, I have a album that's in the chamber. Um, OG Suicide, the Indomitable. I do have one in the chamber that's ready to go, but I'm focused on my artists. That's kind of it. We're gearing up, man, getting ready for the summer and getting ready to put out a bunch of music on them and really flood it and make it make sense. Make it make sense.
How do you feel about artists over 40 years old still making music?
I'll put it like this. You can't put an age on nothing. Here's why. There are some people that work on their job until they're 80 years old. So you mean to tell me once they reach a certain age, they got to stop working? With music, it's kind of like the same thing. If this is this person's passion, this is their dream, because you never know. What if at 41 he become the biggest artist in the world? You can't really say. If that's they still have a passion for it and it's not a burden in their life, then let them be and do what they love to do.
Okay, last question. OG, what is your favorite food and have you ever had Ethiopian food?
I haven't. I would love to have some Ethiopian food, but I don't do beef or pork. I haven't had no beef or pork since 1988 at all. One of my favorites, definitely, I would say, would be I like turkey wings with smothered gravy because I can cook. Miss Price taught me how to cook, so I make gravy from scratch. And, I know how to do it all. She taught me that. So definitely smothered turkey wings and steamed broccoli and, some steamed rice and gravy made from scratch and a cake or a cheesecake or a pie. And, yeah, yeah, I'm hungry just,
I know.
just thinking about it.
Sounds so good.
Everybody, don't forget, June 25th, Let It Out Love One live show. Go to my Instagram, click the link in my bio, get your tickets. Meet and greet tickets available also. I'll have the flyer tomorrow. Today or tomorrow, the flyer will be out there. Space is limited. Go to my Instagram page, go to my link, get your tickets, get your meet and greet tickets. Show support June 25th. I'm trying to make the whole room let it out, love one. Also, OG Suicide in the Building.com. Get your OG Suicide in the Building shirts and these right here. These fancy hats I got right here. One of my fans, one of my supporters from France, actually drew this picture that's on my hat of me. And these hats are also available. But check this out. Once again, June 25th, Let It Out Love One at Club Bahia in Hollywood on Sunset. Space is limited. Get your tickets now. Don't wait until last minute, because once they gone, they gone. Remember that. And also, when it comes to situations that occur, don't be the person that throw fire on it. Be the person that helped create a solution. And that's what I mean. And I said that, and I stand on anything I said. Anybody don't like it, holla. Peace.